Well, there was a congressional committee hearing on abortion yesterday. I'm going to play a few of these clips, and we'll start with this. This is a pro-abortion activist named Amy Arambidi, we'll call her, being questioned on the exact difference between a born child and an unborn child. And kind of going through the process here, starting with an adult, then going all the way down to the moment of birth, and then you stop the tape right there at the moment of birth. There's a baby, there's a human being. Now rewind the clock another 5 seconds. What changes? Isn't that still whatever that being was at the moment of birth? Was it not that 5 seconds earlier? That's the line of questioning here, and let's see how it goes.
So abortion should be allowed then, by your definition, for any reason, for any purpose, at any stage, right?
I trust people to make decisions about their body, and then when relevant, I think that they need to consult their medical practitioners.
Okay.
And not
if it is,
Congress.
listen, let me just ask you this question. If it is not lawful and morally acceptable to take the life of a 10-year-old child, I assume you agree with that, right? That would be wrong, correct?
I believe that.
Okay.
That is
And
wrong.
a 2-year-old child, same thing. That would be murder. We would all agree that's wrong. Then what is the principal distinction between the human being that is 2 years old or 9 months old or 1 week old or an hour old than one that is 8 inches further up the birth canal in the utero? What's the difference? Why is it okay in the latter case and not the former cases?
I trust people to determine what to do with their own bodies.
Wow.
Full stop.
Oh, well, that's it. So she said full stop at the end. So that she wins. So all you get, you could say something completely stupid, and that doesn't make it. But as long as you say full stop at the end, full stop. See, I just did it. So it doesn't matter. Like whatever you said, just say full stop, and you win the argument. Little known fact. But she can't answer the question, as always with the pro-abortion people. They can't answer the most basic questions about their position, and it's a very good question. As was posed there, what is the principal distinction between the child immediately after birth and immediately before? Did you notice how she was even hesitant to affirm that it would be wrong to kill a 10-year-old child? There was like a very noticeable, very loud moment of a pause, a moment of silence there, hesitation. When she was asked, well, clearly killing a 10-year-old child, we all agree. There was this pause. I believe that. Yeah, I believe that's wrong. Oh, good. Well, okay. Glad we're on the same page with that at least. Though probably not for very long, because there is no principal distinction. That is actually the answer. And so whatever argument you make for killing the baby 5 seconds before the baby is born, that argument would apply to a child at any stage along, especially in the earliest months right after birth, because the child, you could try to hinge your whole argument on the fact that the child in the womb is entirely dependent on their mother for survival, which is true, but that doesn't change the fact that it's still a human being. And if your moral worth and your legal rights depend on you not being dependent upon others for survival, well then I got bad news for people on welfare, right? I've got bad news for lots of people in this country who are dependent on others for survival, but especially newborn babies, who in many ways are, more, not many ways, in fact, in almost every way, are more demanding of their mother's time and attention and body and very life than the child was in the womb. Now, this same activist was also asked whether men can become pregnant, and she's not a biologist as far as I know, but she still actually had an answer to this question. Let's listen.
What do you say a woman is?
I believe that everyone can identify for themselves.
Okay. Do you believe then that men can become pregnant and have abortions?
Yes.
She has no choice but to say that, of course. But she has no definition of woman. Men can become pregnant. These are statements now being made in congressional hearings on the record. Now, I loved, here's a moment that I really like. This is kind of reversing the roles here. Now it's a pro-life person testifying and a pro-abortion politician questioning her. And the pro-life person, we'll get her name in a second, I don't remember her name, but she does something here that I'm very glad she does. She makes a point. She kind of has a rebuttal that's very simple, but I'm happy that she did it because it had exactly the effect that it was destined to have. Let's watch this.
They called is candidly and openly calling for a nationwide ban on all abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest. And if I've got that wrong, I would invite Ms. Foster to correct me. Do I have it wrong, yes or no?
If we added rape and incest exceptions, would you vote for it?
Okay, I reclaim my time, of course.
There we go. Perfect. That was Catherine Glenn Foster, was the woman being questioned there by Representative Jamie Raskin. And I'm so glad she responded that way, because that's exactly what you should do. When the pro-abortion people go on and on about, there's no exceptions for rape and incest. Yeah, but would it matter to you if there was? Okay, let's say that we made the exception. Would you vote for it? Would it make any difference to you at all? Well, I reclaim my time. No response at all. Because of course the answer is it doesn't make a difference to them. They wouldn't make any exception. They don't believe in exceptions anyway. It's like, so it doesn't matter. It's an irrelevant point. So that's why this is so often the case with the left when you're engaging with the left. There are so many moves that they make where if you engage, then you've already lost. So once they start going on about, should there be exceptions for rape and incest? When you engage with that, you lose. Because that's all they want to talk about. Then that's why the correct answer is, but what does that have to do with anything? Would it make a difference to you? No, it wouldn't. Okay, well, let's move on then. Why are we even talking about it? They do the same damn thing. They do the same thing, kind of thing on every topic, but they do the same thing, of course, on gender with transgenderism. Well, there are people who are intersex, and it could appear to be a man, but really this is a woman because of sexual, deformities. And okay, well, are you saying that a man who identifies as a woman but is not intersex doesn't count as a woman? Well, no, I'm not saying that. Okay, well then why are you talking about intersex? What does it have to do with anything? Well, I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Matt Walsh Show. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down there so you can stay up to date on all of our future content.